Colby, are you sitting over here?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, It is 11. It has been an absolute crazy week here in our community. Do you agree?
Yes.
There is a lot going on, a lot of tests and challenges, but there's also been a lot of love and kindness and sharing that really reminds us that we truly are stronger than we realize, and we are a community. So I welcome you all today to our Sunday service. And we have a lot today. There are a few things that I would like to mention off the top of the hour, only because I'm so afraid that I will forget them. One is we had a sound healer originally scheduled, Mark David, and as you know, we were had an event scheduled for last night. Mark had a death in the family, which prevented him from fulfilling the obligation this particular week. However, he will be returning in January. But it is so just showing you how the universe works, you know, because there's actually another sound healer that I've had just the beautiful honor of meeting and getting to know her. And I kept going, oh, I gotta have her, and I can't wait to have her. And I thought, well, this is last minute. I don't know who is gonna be free in 2 days, but I'm putting it out there. And she jumped at the opportunity. So you will absolutely be blessed this morning with a sound healing. I also would love to send out loving thoughts to Naima Bourbon. She was one of the scheduled mediums for today. Unfortunately, her house, they're still trying to save it. I do believe that they may have been able to save it, but she had to evacuate. And so, you know, it's hard. It's heartbreaking only because, you know, everyone is part of our community, but this is literally someone who has said yes to Spirit. I will be here to serve. And so when it's someone so close to your own family, we send out loving thoughts and prayers for her. And we are really grateful that they're doing everything they can to save her home. But I also want to thank you, Sam, because again, now I needed another medium. And I just said, are you free? Yes. So, you know, that's what makes this place so incredible, is that we do have friends and colleagues that we can count on, that when you need it most, they will show up, they will say yes. And that's why I always love to call Susan my rock. Because, you know, I asked Susan Schiller, I'll say, will you say yes? I barely get it. Well, yes, Colby. So I just love it. So I'm always so appreciative of everyone. And we have someone speaking for the first time today in the center. So lots happening, okay? I would love to just also take a moment, thank all of you who brought in the items for the veterans, and I do appreciate it very, very much. Right here, honey. Okay. No, right up here. There you go. We are a packed house, everybody. Packed house. But to thank all of those that serve, men, women, animals, and the fact that it is a day to honor all of them as well. So through this, right, we've got so much to do and so much to talk about. How about we start with a message from Spirit? Okay. We see the trying times before you. We see the chaos and the confusion that is overtaking your community. We see looks of uncertainty as a sense of safety and comfort has vanished. We also see the courage and the love shown to one another and to all living beings. We are here to remind you that we have not abandoned you. And in fact, we stand beside you to encourage you to start anew. The time is now to start what you've been putting off, to build what has been destroyed and to love what has been broken. Men, you're hurt with love. I see you reaching out. Offer your help as every gesture makes a difference. You are resilient and loving and stronger than you could ever imagine. This is a day and a time and a place for you to connect to your truest and highest self. And in doing so, you will see all of us standing with you. We are guiding you on this path where each choice you make takes you on a journey that brings you closer and closer to us, to home. The smoke will clear, and when it does, you will see new opportunities to connect with friends. This is a time to reevaluate what is most important to you. Don't be afraid to release the past and to embrace the future. Be willing to help those in need as they rebuild, to hug those who need support, and to step up and say yes to your own new beginnings, your own journey. Where are we taking you, you ask? Everywhere, we answer. This is a time to erase the old, to move it aside and make room for the new. We are giving you the doorway. You must choose to enter. The doorway offers so much that you see when you believe. So we now always love to do our talk of the day, right? And this one's kind of always easy when we've got 11, 11, 11, portal to your purpose. Each 11 represents a gateway. It's an opportunity for you to accept the universe's invitation to the next step, the next leg of your journey. When you see 3 sets of doorways, as we do here with 11, 11, 11. So now there's 3 doorways, right? Meaning the universe has opened abundantly for you. There is no longer one choice, but many choices. Right before us, the universe is giving us an opportunity to start over, to create our own reality. These 11s are angel numbers and divine direction for anyone willing to listen. So today, more than any other day, and every day we do have a choice. Every day we can do this. But this day, this particular day, is a little more special. This particular day gives you an opportunity to start fresh, clean slate, to step into your own powerful shoes, your powerful being, and take initiative on any dreams that you've been holding aside. This is your time to serve your spiritual life, to live your soul mission, to honor your soul purpose. Walk through the pillars today and choose to walk through them today with a mindset of yes. 11, 11, 11. This is your wake-up call. This is it. Get up. No snooze. Come on, lazy pants. Time to get started. It is your binary code from the angelic realm and the universe to unlock your inner consciousness and connect yourself back to your soul. Connect to your higher self. Connect to your guides, your loved ones. When you're asking yourself about 11, 11, 11, what thoughts did you have right beforehand? Noticing your thoughts, your feelings, your inspirations will help you show how you are in alignment with your higher self and your angels. You are completely able to manifest during this time. This is your day. A glorious day to put pen to paper and list your vision. What is your goal? What are your dreams? Is your energy of the highest vibration? How can you be of service even more? You are being called today to wipe the slate clean and to embrace this fresh start, these new beginnings that allow you to be the conductor of your own symphony. Play on, play on, play on. There you go. We have a wonderful talk today. It's just so perfect, especially when we've got 11, 11, 11. How many people do see 11, 11 a lot? Raise your hand. Wonderful, a lot of you do, right? I'll tell you, there's lots of things, right? It could be your team saying, yay! Whatever thought you had at 11, 11, it's in alignment with where you are. So it's kind of like, ooh, good job, yes, keep going. They're like the mini cheerleaders, okay? But there's so many other signs and symbols that our loved ones can send us. And what's fantastic is we have a professional today that is actually going to give us a talk on how to recognize those signs and symbols. Doesn't that sound great?
Yes.
So then, when the medium comes to you, you go, I recognize that. Yes, I do. So it makes it a lot more fun. So what I'd love to do, and I do really want to thank her. She drove a long way. She as well was evacuated. So for her to kind of be able to make that time, even under stress and worry, to serve today, it's quite an honor and a privilege to have her here, and I'm certainly looking forward to her talk. So I would love to welcome Karen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It was 1992, and I was sitting next to the gravesite of my mother. And I was wondering, as we often do, how am I supposed to get through the rest of my life without her? How do I know she's with me? And a butterfly comes flying by and lands on my leg. Wow, a big moment, right? So I decide in that second, butterflies are my sign. I knew nothing of spirit signs at that time. Whenever I see a butterfly, I will know Mom is with me. I will feel her with me when I see butterflies, and I've seen a lot of them. Now I fast forward 20 years, and I'm going to my very first mediumship reading. And I'm driving to the reading, and I'm thinking, well, she's gonna talk about butterflies. I know she is. She will bring them through, she will mention the butterflies. I will know that she is really talking to me in this reading. And I have the reading, it's an amazing reading. Not a word, not one word. And I'm driving home and I'm kind of irritated. I'm not feeling the blessings, right? Why didn't you talk about the butterflies? Why wouldn't you bring up the butterflies? If you're with me, I need to see a butterfly. You show me one on the way home. You better show me one by the car. And I get home, nothing. I get out of my car, I walk through the door, and I see my little girl, and she comes running to greet me, and she's been at a carnival at school that day, and she's got little flowers painted on her face, because I did face painting. And I look at her and I say, oh, sweetie, I love the little flowers on your face. And she says, Mommy, those aren't flowers, those are butterflies. Now, I tell you you this story to remind you that signs come to us in all kinds of ways, but we often just don't even recognize them. Why don't we recognize them? Well, there's a couple of reasons. First of all, because we demand the way they're supposed to come. You will show me a butterfly, it will be blue, it will land here, I will know that that's mine. Okay? And meanwhile, we're missing 20 other signs they've sent us, and they're up there going, come on, I'm trying. Another way, we think we made it up, right? We get a sign, we feel that it's a sign, and we say, oh, that's probably not them. It's probably my imagination. I mean, there's butterflies everywhere, right? The fact that it's them, probably not them. We ignore it. The other thing we do all the time is we demand more. Okay, I see the butterfly, but if it's really you, show me another one. And again, they're up there, come on, help me help you. How am I going to get you to hear this? Now, signs can come to us in many different ways. Sometimes we get physical signs. Maybe you've seen a necklace that you thought was in a drawer and suddenly it's on a dresser. You see a photograph. Gosh, I thought I put that photograph in a box, but for some reason it's in this envelope. How did it get there? Maybe they put it there for you. Sometimes with physical signs we see the birds, the butterflies, the dragonflies. Pennies from heaven. How many of you have seen coins as signs? Coins are all over the place. We have to accept that, right? Either humans are just tossing pennies randomly over the place, or they're signs for us, right? I keep wondering when Spirit's going to start throwing $100 bills. But we'll take the pennies, won't we? So we see it. Now, sometimes it's electrical impulses. You may see lights flickering. You may have a toy that's electric, turn on or turn off. Perhaps music will start to play. How many times have you been looking at your iPhone and you see some kind of electrical glitch and you chalk it up to a sign from Apple instead of a sign from and we reset without ever saying thank you. Sometimes signs are words that you might hear. Maybe somebody says a phrase out of the blue and you realize, oh, my dad used to say just that very thing. Maybe somebody introduces themselves to you and they happen to have the name of your aunt that you love so much and you just met this person for the first time. Maybe it's words that you are saying to somebody else and you're listening to yourself and you're thinking, I should probably take that advice as well, because Spirit is inspiring you with something you need to hear, maybe from your own mouth. Now, sometimes signs come from just catching our attention, drawing it to something that was already there. I'm driving down the street one day, and I look up and I see a street sign that says Barbara Street. That's my mom's name. Now, she didn't create the street. She didn't erect the street sign. The street was there. It's still there. But I'd never seen it before. I drove that street 20 times. But she turned my attention to it at that moment. So you watch for the billboards, the shop names, the license plates, the things where you start to think, well, that was there anyway. But they drew your attention to it in that moment. Trust that. So we know these signs come to us. And then we start to think, how can I get more? How can I get more signs? Give me more signs, right? Here's the thing. They don't have to give us anything more. They give us signs all the time. The trick is we have to be willing to receive them. So the difference is not that they have to give you more, but that you have to notice more. You have to feel it more. How do you do that? First thing to do, ask them. It really is that easy. Now, some of you are thinking, well, I ask them all the time. How do we ask? We say, I wish I would see more signs. I wish Spirit would show me more signs. When do we actually talk to them? Mom, show me that you're here today. I really need to feel you with me. I really need to know that you're here. Ask them directly. Ask them to tell you that they are here with you, instead of just wishing that they would. Next thing to think about, watching and listening. Paying attention to what's around you. You know, I walk around all sorts of places with my daughter, and she finds coins everywhere. Everywhere. She found a coin sitting in the side of a potted plant in a store. And why does she see them? Every time she sees them, look, it's a sign from Grandma and Grandpa. She catches it every time. Why does she see it? Because she's observing the world. She's a kid. What am I doing while she's finding signs from our loved ones? I'm thinking about my to-do list, where I have to be, where I have to go, how much time I have to get there. Meanwhile, my daughter's finding signs from everybody that loves us. The more we pay attention as you're driving down the street, look at all the license plates around you. Look at the billboards that you pass. Look at the shop windows. Look up from your phone. Look in the eyes of people you see. Look at the t-shirts they're wearing. Look at every single thing. Next thing, most important thing, thank them for the signs you get. Thank them. Every time you see something that makes you think of your loved one, thank them for showing up for you. Now, why don't we do this? It feels kind of silly, doesn't it? I think, well, thank you for everything. What if you didn't even send it? What if I'm looking around saying, oh, thanks for the coin, and the guy in front of me dropped it. It's not from you at all. I feel kind of silly thanking you. Here's the thing to remember. It doesn't matter if they sent it. And here's why. When you notice something that your loved one in spirit may or may not have sent, maybe they didn't, but you say thank you for that, a thought goes out to them and they know you recognize that as being for me. What's the next step? I'll show you more. That reminds you of me. So you see a lavender flower and you think, oh, Grandma, my grandma loved lavender. Thanks, Grandma, for showing me a lavender flower. Maybe she showed it to you, maybe she didn't. But now she's out there thinking, look, she sees lavender and it makes her think of me. Now she's going to show you more lavender flowers. She's going to show you a painting of a lavender flower. She's going to have a commercial where they mention lavender. You're going to smell the scent of lavender because you've acknowledged that that to you is a sign from her. And she'll share it with you and she'll bring it to you more often. The last thing that I want you to think about is the easiest possible thing that you can do. And it's the hardest possible thing that you can do. And that is to believe. To believe that the signs are from your loved ones in spirit. It's so hard to wander through this world wondering if we're touched, wondering if we're protected. Believe that you are. We're going to have some lovely meetings up here today, and some of you are going to receive a reading, and you'll get a direct message. Some of you will hear something that comes up in a reading, and you'll think, gosh, that sounds like that's for me. But it's not for me. It's not my reading. It can't be for me. Accept it as being for you. Accept that your loved one managed to get a phrase in for you, and thank them for showing up for you. Some of you will leave, and maybe you'll see a sign later today. Maybe you'll see a sign tomorrow. Maybe you'll see a sign next month. Notice it, believe it, trust in it. Whenever you're wondering if they're there, believe that they are. Colby mentioned that we have a packed house today. We have all of you sitting here, and we have all the loved ones you brought with you. It truly is a packed house here today. They came with you to be here. Whether they grab the attention of the meeting or not, they're here to be with you because there's nowhere else that they would rather be. So feel them, notice them, and as our mediums come up, just take a moment to think of your loved ones and to thank them for being with you. Thank them for showing you that they're here, and thank them for continuing to love you. And thank them for the honor of hearing from them. And thank you for the honor of being with you today.
So we have our checklist, right? Pennies, lavender, angel wings, butterflies, dragonflies, hummingbirds. Good. Any others?
Numbers.
Numbers. Okay. Okay, wonderful. This is it. We're gonna catalog these and now. Just a couple things, and then we are going to engage in a little sound healing. What I'm gonna do is, some of you or most of you may be on the email list already for this space. It's only for this space where there's events or classes or to kind of get that heads up about the service. If you're already on it, ignore it. But if you are not and you like to be on it, then all I need is your name and your email address, but written clearly. I do a lot of reading, and yet my psychic senses are put to the test the most. And I'm trying to decipher it. Is that an N? Go higher, Colby. N. Well, they've used an N. So there we go. Pass this around for anyone. Okay? And then there's just not required by any means, but just in support of the space and to help kind of have things going and to help run this service, we do request a $10 donation if you've got it. So I'll just start this way and just make sure everybody has one. Name your name too, first and last name. Yes? Yes, perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Oh, I think you got okay, good. So we are going to arrange for the sound healing. So come on up. We're going to move some things around while you are doing that. Okay. You can move that one. We're moving everybody at home, just so you know. Here we go. There we go. Door number 1. Okay. Very good. You may leave home with a beautiful Just kidding. All right, well, let me just take a moment and tell everyone who you are, okay? Monique here is a professional sound healer. Been doing it, how long have you been doing it?
Well, I started with the harp about 15 years, but this type of sound healing about 5 years.
See, wonderful. She has LA Sound Healing right here. She has a couple events that I'll mention later. But she's just going to take a couple minutes, tell you what sound healing is. Because a lot of people don't know. They're like, what is it? So she's going to tell you what it is, what it does, why you need it, and then she's going to give you some of it. So teeny tiny bit. Sounds pretty good, right?
Appetite.
So let's give a warm welcome for me.
That was lovely. So I am a sound healer. I started with the harp. We're playing for people who are sick and dying. And it really wasn't about playing beautiful music. It was about the tones. And by reading about it, I discovered it's really an ancient practice, right? And even the beginning of Western civilization, all the doctors were musicians, right? Plato, Aristotle, they all said, and Tesla later says, if you're going to understand the universe, you have to understand vibration and frequency, right? And you all know this. This is, I feel inspired after that beautiful speech Susan gave us, right? Of how do we become more aware? How do we raise our vibration, right? And why do we get stuck? And how important sound healing is and how powerful. I'm going to give you a perfect example of how it works. Modern medicine uses sound already, right? They use ultrasound, sonogram, but they also use something called lithotripsy, which is the most common way to get rid of a kidney stone. It's a sound machine, and here's the stone, and the wave comes and breaks it apart. Now, our ears don't hear it because our ears have a tiny, tiny range. You know, cats, dogs, whales, they all have a little larger. But our bodies feel it. right? Every cell, our muscles, our bones, our teeth. And so what is it based on? It's based on energy. Same with what we do here when we connect to spirit, right? We say when someone passes on, they change frequencies, right? And so what happens is we get stuck in our bodies. I also do private sessions with tuning forks, okay? And the tuning fork will find where you're out of tune in your field. So modern science, modern medicine knows now we have a field. You know, some of us call it an aura, right? But what it is what happens is on the edges of our field is when we're in our mother's womb. And it's like a timeline, and the closer it gets is the more recent. And what happens is we store things, energy. Our traumas from childhood. I haven't met anyone who hasn't had any trauma. Let me know. Come up to me afterwards. Right? And what I find during the tuning forks, the most things that cause the most blocks are unexpressed emotions. Right? So the sound takes the charge out of things. Just like that kidney stone, it breaks it up. Because what happens is we carry this stuff around. So we don't trust what we see. So we can't hear, because our hamster wheels, we call these, right? The future, the past, are like, And even when you feel scattered, what happens? You feel the energy up here, right? So everything is energy. The walls, the floor, our bodies. So that means everything has a frequency. Everything is vibrating. Everything has a color. And everything has a sound. So there's a concept called entrainment. And this is what I learned playing the harp and why it's effective for people who are sick and dying. Sound creates space. Silence. Space. Everything, you know, when we get anxious or our energy moves all the way up here, it's like, you can't really move, right? Modern medicine is so good at stopping things. Infections, accidents, heart attacks. But sound healing and alternative medicine moves things, removes blocks. So during a sound bath, I call my sound baths like a massage. The tuning forks are more like surgery. And what it does, it brings out that emotion. And it releases it. So during the sound bath, now I'm only going to do about 5 minutes, but even during that moment, as you relax, what happens, it comes and shakes it up. So sometimes you can feel uncomfortable. But it's basically, you know, you have to go, in order to get through something, you have to get through it. Right? The only way through is through. So instead of holding into our emotions and doubting ourselves and doubting our connection, it's surrendering. And that's what sound healing can help you do. Clearing the emotional blocks, clearing the mental activity, right? Physically removing some of that pain that is a manifestation a lot of times of our emotional, mental, spiritual state. All right, if you're carrying around this energy since childhood, it has to go somewhere, right? Energy is not destroyed. It's neither created nor destroyed, it's transformed. So we have to let it out, right? So I'm going to do maybe about 5 minutes, I think I have, right? Mm-hmm. And I want you to just feel inside your body. Again, what Susan was saying, become aware. Our bodies are this beautiful instrument. You know, and we get out of tune like everything gets out of tune. The weather, the food we eat, what we talk, what we listen to. And right now is a very chaotic time. So we have to be centered, right? We have to know what energy is ours. How many times have you been around someone who has anxiety and you're like, have this anxiety, it's not even mine, right? But we have to be aware of it. So our bodies are super intelligent and will tell us what's going on. So if you have something in your stomach, what is that? Are you not trusting something? This is our natural GPS system. I'll see you afterwards. So, Kobe's gonna announce I have sound baths all over the Santa Monica, Pacific Palisades, North Hollywood, Long Beach, and I also do private sessions in Santa Monica between courts. So to release, so you can get better in alignment and be more open. Okay, so now everybody, let's just sit back, get comfortable. Put your feet firmly on the ground, and I want you to feel yourself like a big oak tree. Oh, and it's 11:11. We're gonna take off. Fasten your seatbelts. Well, actually, let them go. All right, so everybody just sit there quietly and feel yourself as a big oak tree. And what that means is there's roots on the bottom of your feet, one on the bottom of your spine, the roots that go all the way down into the earth, where you feel grounded and connected, all living creatures to the earth. And you breathe up through your spine, and then I want you to release to the top of your head, like the branches of that oak tree, reaching out to the higher realms, to spirit, to your higher self, to possibilities, to miracles. So just breathe in and get deep from that earth, all the way up, and release. And start to connect with your own breathing. We all have our unique frequency, right? And feel your own energy inside as you breathe and connect. And allow yourselves to go deeper and deeper with every breath. Every breath you just release and let go and soften. And every breath in, you receive this sense of balance and peace and harmony. And soften and deepen your connection.
Now everybody connect back to your breath. Feel those roots on the bottom of the earth, in the middle of the earth. Feeling connected and grounded. Safe and secure. Just breathe up that beautiful green energy from the earth all the way up your legs, and your lungs, your heart. Bringing up through your spine and down your arms and out your fingertips. Bringing it all the way up through your head and out through the top of your head. Connecting to the higher realms. Take one more deep breath. And release. All right.
Yay!
If anyone's interested, I have some cards. Here we go.
Oh, can you explain it at the end? Is that okay?
No problem.
We got deaf people who need to talk. They're yapping away.
Let me get this out of the
You
way.
have to be quiet. I am a yapper. I'm quiet. She, at the end, we'll be around in 2 minutes. She can answer yes. Thank you so much. Did everybody have a fun time? Was that amazing?
Yeah.
You know, and that's something we could kind of do ourselves, right? And yet we don't. Like, we're lazy pants, right? You get so busy that you gotta get on Yahoo or Facebook for 5 minutes rather than listening to something for 5 minutes that's going to kind of help move the energy and create healing. So it's a valuable reminder to us to allow ourselves to release and heal and grow and love. So the basket got around, is that right? I want to make sure because I wasn't paying attention. Okay, good. How about we have some messages from mediums? Does that sound good? As I look around the room, I'm asking, oh, did they bring a loved one? Check, 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 check. Oh, this one brought a whole 3, 2. Oh, me. So I can see there's a lot here. So just to kind of make it as easy and quick as possible so that the mediums can just kind of get up here and start sharing what they're getting. The way the mediums will generally work is that they will see pictures, hear words, or get feelings. They will then put that together. They may go directly to someone. I do feel like this is for you. Do you understand that? Or they may throw it out, as we call indirect, meaning does anyone in the room understand it? Either way, you have to play along. You got to claim your loved one, loud and proud, and give us a verbal yes or a no, please, with the sound of your voice. It's very important, just because not everyone in the room will receive a direct message from a loved one, but they will receive a message if you share your experience, okay? And we're really nosy. So I am back there going, what dirt? Oh, mom's saying that, huh? So it's really fun. It does bring us together. There is a healing component and there's a community component. And so I am super excited to call up our first medium. One other thing too, some of you may duel it out, right? That's mine. That's for me. I know it's for me. Well, she said she was coming to me today. So here's what I want you to do. Your loved ones are going to duel it out at times. Trust the medium. The medium will go back to, who are you here for? They're giving them your look back. Oh, they're for you, but if you don't mind listening, because there's a message in this for you as well, or perhaps your spirit, no offense, is a lot more gracious and says, oh, you go ahead. And then your spirit's like, that's right. So, no different than real life, right? Their personalities, their love, their memories, they're going to come forward today. And are you guys ready? Are we going to be good recipients today?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so let's call up our first medium. Our first medium is a professional medium. As I mentioned, I do love to fondly call her my rock, because for as many years as I've had the privilege and honor of serving spirit, I've also had this beautiful, really, it's quite the pleasure to serve alongside her, serve with her, be in the same classes together. We've really learned and grown together in many, many ways, and to see how she serves spirit and how spirit has used her and how we all have our stuff that we go through and how we rise up through that, and to witness that and be a part of it, and to call her a friend and a peer, and to be so gracious to have her in here to share her amazing gift. I'd love to welcome Susan Schiller.
Thank you very much. It's lovely as always to be here. I'm very, very happy to be here. It's funny, I did a sound healing last night in a church in downtown for like an hour and a half, and I was already kind of buzzing from that. Now it's like even my palms, I feel like I'm on fire. I don't know about the rest of you, but that really like brought up stuff. So if I just start to cry, you know why. Anyway, okay, so let's see who steps forward today. This is such an exciting day. I love 11:11. To me, this is like just such a special. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for asking me to be here, Colby. All right. Okay. So I have a younger gentleman with me. I feel like, and I know what's younger, right? This young man, well, younger man, he feels to me like he's, and don't take me exact here, but I feel like I'm around 30-ish or younger. I just feel like when I say young man, I'm that age. I feel like he's very personable and outgoing and all of those lovely things, but I also feel like what makes him very special is this huge strength and his need to be responsible for his fellow man. I just feel like he's sort of got this special old soul. Not sure what the relationship is at this point, but I feel like this would be somebody that you may have known. No, I'm not going to say that. Forget to say that. So I do know this young man was in a helping profession because I feel like it was very important that he give back to other people, that he was more of an altruistic type of person. I feel like his passing was fast. I feel like it was unexpected. I'm drawn to this side of the room as I'm speaking about this. Does anyone over in this little pocket understand who I'm speaking about? Young man, 30-ish, under 30, okay. I feel like when I say I'm in a helping profession, I'm drawn to EMT, firefighter, something like that where I give back to community. Do you understand this? No, okay. Does anyone else understand this over here? Just want to make sure I'm not.
I have a young male, but it wasn't.
Okay, but was it altruistic? Like, I just feel like, because I can't get away from I'm responsible for other people. And I feel very strong about this. So if I'm misconstruing that, excuse me, but I just feel like special. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
You do, okay. Because there's a seriousness. Even though, do you understand the seriousness with this young man? You know, some guys are like, he's not like that. There's just a focus. Do you understand? He also feels to me like he has healing energy though. So I feel like just to be around him feels like, as Colby was talking about, me being a rock, he feels like very much a strong rock for other people. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Okay. Was this gentleman in your age group? Do you understand, like peer aged or? Because it's funny because I see him standing next to you. Do you understand that?
My husband.
Okay. All right. Yeah, okay. You do understand the healing aspect though, all right? Because I feel like even just him being himself, it's like I feel like I'm very community centered. Do you understand this with your husband? Okay. May I have his first name?
Boy.
And you understand the fast passing? Okay, because I do feel like that's important. And I feel like going back to his responsible nature, there were a lot of words he wasn't able to say because my throat chakra feels like it shut down. I feel like he knew how deeply, you knew how deeply he felt about you, but I feel like he didn't always need to say that. And that's where I feel like there's a little bit of remorse on his part because he's like, I wish I would have been more verbal. I wish I would have been more, because he does feel like a hugger. I do definitely get the hugger feeling with him, but I just feel like right now it's like he just wants to envelop you with that, to hug you that way. Yeah, it's pretty powerful. I feel like what he's saying, he sort of jokes about himself because as much as I painted him as this beautiful individual who's very responsible, he's saying you were his angel. All right, so he's acknowledging, he's like, you know, she's making me sound really good, but I could be a bit of a challenge at times. Do you understand this? Okay. But to me, it's like, I just feel like I'm really seeing his soul, and his soul is just such a pure, beautiful, good, warm man. You know what I mean? And I just feel like when I say he was a special one, I truly mean that. He was a special one. And I feel like what he's acknowledging about your relationship is he's saying our relationship was a special one. All right, he's saying, okay, I don't know if this is something he ever told you, but I feel like what he's saying is when I looked this woman in the eye, I knew. All right, and I feel like what he's saying is, and there was never a day that I went back and I regretted that choice. All right, he just knew. Your daughter?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a younger girl. Do you understand who he would be pointing out that's a younger girl? Does he have a little sister? Say a younger girl. Can we talk afterwards? I just want to share something with you. Okay, yeah, I just feel like it's like right now, I feel like he wants to touch your face. It's like I would want to do this, you know what I mean? So I do feel like there's like a touchy element to him. It's like he's very textile, you know what I mean when I say that? So I feel like I want to pet you, I want to touch your face, and even like your eyelashes. I feel like there's like a fascination with your eyelashes. Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's your thing with fascination with eyelashes. But I just feel that. I also feel, okay, so I do feel you're still, can I see your hand?
I'm wearing the ring.
Okay, because it's like he's showing me the ring. And I just feel like that means a great deal to him.
I just took it out today.
Okay, it means a great deal to him, and he's like, God, he's such a humble man. You know, some men have ego and things like that. I just don't feel that way with him. He's just got this beautiful, soft way about him. And I'm going back to what I said before about him being in a helping profession like EMT or police officer. I just feel like I'm a protector. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, because I feel like what he's saying is I am your protector. And don't you ever forget it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, and it's like, you know how Archangel Michael, his name's not Michael, is it? No. Okay. It's weird, I just said it. The wings are like here, and it's just like wrapping around you, and it's like, girl, you're in a bubble. I've placed you in a beautiful protection bubble, and you are so taken care of. All right? And he's also showing me finances. Okay, and when he's saying you're taken care of, I feel like he's shuffling things to make sure that financially you're going to be taken care of. So like that's been a concern. Okay, yeah. Because that's one thing I feel like he would have liked to have put more, you know. But I'm just going to leave that with you and just want to touch your face. Okay, so I'll just leave that with you. Thank you. Okay, got it. Okay, that's what he said. Okay, and Dad feels to me like a big fun energy. I just feel like really like a lot of energy with this gentleman. He feels loving, he feels big, he feels silly, very, very silly. I do feel Dad's sick. I do feel there's a lot of medications at the end. I feel like I'm lightheaded. I still feel like I'm a bigger man though, so I don't necessarily feel like it makes me sick and kind of like ill that way. Do you understand this?
Grandpa.
Okay, on father's side. It would have to be, okay, because I definitely said father here, so it's got to be on father. So let me keep going. I don't know if I was just energetically drawn to you. Yes, I feel like I pass before my wife. In fact, my wife might even still be alive. But I just feel like it's an illness, but it's not like a slow illness. I feel like the illness kind of goes a little bit quicker, but I feel like I'm happy about that because I don't want to be an inconvenience to anyone. I'm definitely drawn over to this side of the room as I'm saying this though. Okay, so does anybody else understand this? Father, illness, kind of a shorter passing illness. Kim, do you understand that? Okay. Ooh, okay. So as much as I talk about the big energy, do you understand the big energy? Okay, because that's important. But I also feel really analytical and smart.
Yes.
Okay, because I feel like he's like, don't you make me look like a fool. Okay. So you would understand that.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So he's like, it's very important that you understand that I was smart. And I feel like listen to me now, I feel like I'm just like picking up steam. So I feel like his brain could really go fast and he could really get things going. I feel as though it was very important for him to raise intelligent children. Do you understand that? And I'm talking about grounded on terracotta, you know, very, like to me it's like he shows up with a lot of red energy, like I'm grounded, I'm rooted, I'm logical, I'm practical, I'm good business.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So drill sergeant. But I do, so he's got a little bit of that going on too. But I feel like what he's talking about for you right now is he's really proud of the fact that you have taken this on and you've run with it. You've run with it, and what he's saying is you're strong, and he's so proud of you. I do feel like this is a gentleman who would have very much respected strong women.
Yes.
Yes, and I feel like what he's saying is you couldn't have been more of my picture-perfect daughter than you are.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, no, seriously, he's just like, you're the picture perfect daughter, and he's so thankful for you. And he's showing me your daughter. All right, and I feel like what he's saying, the apple's not falling far from the tree because you're raising a good little one there too. Do you understand that? Okay. So I'm just gonna leave that with you and just know that he loves you and he's around you. He's like, yeah, she sees the signs. I know she sees the signs. But I feel like some of the signs that he sends are really playful.
Yes.
Yes, okay, because I feel like what he's saying is I'm trying to always remind you to keep levity in your life. Okay, and he's like, and don't you worry, dear, I will continue to do that because that's one thing that sometimes you need a little help with.
Yeah.
Okay? I will leave that with you. Thank you.
Are you having fun?
Yes.
Isn't it like just so nice, like when they come and they want to talk and hang out, like how cool is that, right? So, you ready for some more messages?
Yes.
Okay, great. We have another medium, fantastic. She also does a lot of energy work, intuition work, like, so it is a full body, mind, spirit experience. So I always love to see her work. And she's served a couple times already, but I would love to welcome Yusan Shin.
Okay, let's see who's here. Okay, so I have a gentleman here. He feels to me that he got teased a lot because he was very in tune with his feminine side. Okay, he took a lot of bullying, but he was also very strong in knowing who he was and never fighting back, but standing his ground, his position. And he was just very in tune with who he was, what he liked to do. And I believe he passed from a disease. Okay, does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Can anyone else take this? Okay, great. Oh, you can too? Okay, let me get some more information. Okay, so he was actually a very, very good friend to lots of people who truly accepted him for who he was, okay? He would drop anything on one single phone call if anyone needed help. He was that type of person. He had an enormous heart. He was very giving. He was also a lot of fun. He knew how to make people laugh and bring lightness to any situation because he also had a lot of empathy for people. He didn't want people to feel badly. Okay, can you still take this? Can you take this? Okay. I feel drawn to you.
I think it's more there, but I can.
Okay, great. Okay, so, he's making me feel that he also loved jewelry. Okay, he liked to deck himself out. He liked to wear jewelry. I see jewelry on his wrists, and it's just something that gave him pure joy. And he wants you to know that you need to re-establish that joy center for yourself. Okay, and that he's been there and he's been watching you and he's been trying to, bring you up. And you've been going through some things lately. Can you understand that? Okay. And he just wants you to know that he's around and he's been trying to lift you up and make sure that you're really connecting to your true friends and knowing who your true friends are. And those are the people that really want the best for you, that want to make your life better instead of dragging you down. And he wants to see you fly. Okay? So, okay. I'm also getting the sense that
that he didn't get a chance to say goodbye. Okay, do you understand this?
Yes.
Okay, so he wants to take the time right now to say that there was that very strong connection between the two of you, and that a goodbye for him really wasn't necessary because he hasn't gone anywhere. Okay, so I'm going to leave that with you. Okay. I'm also getting a woman here right now. She feels like a mother, and she was very, very like, I see the mug, #1 mom, best mom. So everyone thinks their mom is the best. So let me get some more information. She also had a really great sense of humor. I don't see her with a whole lot of makeup, so I believe she liked to keep things natural. And she was just always very affectionate and loved to make people feel special. Like when she had your attention and you had hers, like she made you feel like you were the only person around, okay? So she had that unique ability. I do believe that she also died of cancer. She died of cancer. And, she left behind children and grandchildren. Can anyone take this?
Not cancer.
Okay, I've got a lot of hands up. Okay. Okay. So I'm also getting the sense that she loved to be outdoors. She loved and she loved her family. And this isn't really narrowing things down. I need more information. And she's also making me feel that she loved to like plant and be in the garden and so this is someone who loved to like get her hands dirty, to love to be in the dirt, love to grow things and see things from seedling to, so I've got a lot I've got a lot of hands up. Patricia, I know that I've given you a reading before. We are friends. I do believe I'm with you, so everyone else, please listen. But Patricia, your mom's here. And I feel like Veterans Day was something that she celebrated. I don't know very many people who celebrate Veterans Day other than veterans and people who honor them, but she was super patriotic. 4th of July was also like extremely important to her, and she's letting you know that you have the freedom, okay? You have so much freedom, but you feel sometimes like you are trapped and shackled, if you will. But she knows that you are not, and she wants to give you the message that you are free as a bird, and you can do whatever you set your mind to. And she has watched you grow into an amazing human being, and that she's okay. Did you just hike recently? Okay. She was with you when you were on your hike, so she just wants to send her love to you. Okay, thank you.
Wow, huh?
Yeah.
It ran by fast, didn't it? Oh my goodness. I do want to just make sure I thank everybody who brought donations. for the troops. We will be sending them. So thank you very, very much for doing that. Much appreciated. And also just a couple things. I do want to give a shout out to Jules Davis. It is her birthday. And she's a medium who serves all the time for us, and she's at AFC. And so I wanted to give her a shout out. And also one last thing is to thank Wendy Gilmore. We had some horses that we found out that were trapped. Tony made a post, and so then I shared the post, and then I thought of Wendy because she does this horse thing, and sure enough, if she didn't find the people to get it to get those horses out. Do you guys have time for a quick message or two?
Sure.
Yes?
Okay.
Because they're not done talking. Let's see. I've got a father here. This makes me feel like it's a father. He makes me feel like, he definitely makes me feel like he would have been connected to the service as well, or done his honorary service is the feeling I'm getting. He also gives me the feeling of congestive heart failure or something going through his heart, which was the passing. He also gives me the feeling of, I'm not going to call him grumpy, I'm just going to call him particular. That's how I want to, he's very particular, that's the feeling I keep getting. Would that make sense for you, sir, right there with the glasses? Is that correct? That's Dad for you, is that correct? Can you use yes and no for us? Is that okay, honey?
Yes.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I tell you what though, he wasn't going to let you get out of here without having a word with you, you know? And I feel like this is how he could be. He's definitely, he meant the best in the world. He always meant the best for everybody. But he could be a little firm. He could be a little strong with what he said and how he did it. Does that make sense? Okay. And he gives me this feeling around him of being very much proud, so proud. He's a very proud man. He's proud of his name. He's proud of his family. He gives me a sense of being like proud of his country too. Does that make sense? Yeah. And he gives me this feeling too where he would even always have a flag out. That's the feeling I keep getting. There's a flag that he keeps showing me. But it's interesting, it doesn't quite feel like an American flag. I feel like I'm looking at a different flag. So was your dad born somewhere else, can I ask?
Mexico.
Okay, thank you, perfect, thank you. He gives me this feeling around where you would understand that he was not afraid to dig his boots in and to get his hands dirty to do what was needed to get done, to make ends meet. You understand that? And he also tells me, he just gave me the feeling of a watch. I'm not sure, do you have Dad's watch or a timepiece from Dad that you would understand?
No.
Okay, do you understand Dad carrying a timepiece with him? He had always had a timepiece. I don't want to call it like, he gives me the feeling of a time, of connecting onto a chain. What's that called? Pocket watch. You sure Dad didn't have a pocket watch? Do you understand a pocket watch in the family?
My grandpa.
Okay, perfect, thank you. And your grandpa's in spirit as well then, correct? Okay, so your dad's just letting you know he's with Grandpa as well, and he's connecting to that pocket watch, okay? He's also, Dad's giving me this feeling where he wants to thank you, so there had to have just been an anniversary or something where you celebrated, and I feel like he wants to say thank you, he really enjoyed it. He also gives me this feeling as well of letting you know, did you just receive an acknowledgement or a plaque, or just feels to be, he's giving you a congratulations for just achieving, just finishing an accolade. Does that make sense to you? Do you understand that? A promotion or an achievement, do you understand that? Is there an achievement around one of the kids? Is this like your litter over here? So someone just graduated or did an achievement, you would understand this accolade. Does that make sense? Don't be shy.
I got an achievement, but I'm not his daughter, that's my father-in-law.
I think you count.
Yeah.
You're in the litter. You're in the litter. Because I feel like I just feel like your dad wants to let you know that he is around everybody, and he's letting you know, okay? There's also a sense of giving love to mom, okay? So there's a sense of giving love to mom, also a sense of never giving up faith, never giving up hope. It is what has made your family so strong, and I know there's a lot of weight on your shoulders at the moment, and you're trying to hold everything together, and your dad says, son, you're a son of mine. You are so much stronger. We can build this together. So I will leave that with you. All right, real quick. This is super quick. Ready? Yes or no? Ready? Okay. I've got a lady here, and she definitely, this makes me feel like this is mom. But she is like, you know, she's very feisty, but she's also like, she'll sneak in to do something. So she would have eavesdropped too. So she's a good gossiper. So I feel like you try to get away with things, but she's sitting there eavesdropping. She wants to know a little bit of the secret. So I feel like there's a little bit of that around her. And I feel like her body, she just makes me feel like her body kind of is a little tighter or a little rolled over. That's the feeling I keep getting. So can someone connect to mom being in spirit, that we know she's a little bit of a eavesdropper, a little bit of that listening. The lady in the back, all the way in the back, do you understand mom in spirit?
My mom's still alive.
Do you understand the lady, that this would be an eavesdropping lady that has her hands kind of curled? You understand?
Sounds like my grandmother.
Okay. Real quick, does this sound like anyone's mom? Because it felt like this was such a close connection to mom. I just feel like I'm right in the back there, though. Real quick, do you understand living with mom? See, I keep wanting to call her mom. Did you live with grandma at some point? No. Did you live with grandma?
I still live in her property now.
Okay, do you understand this kind of curled up?
She had really bad arthritis.
Okay, and do you understand this kind of walk with her?
Yes.
You understand she's sneaky. You understand?
Yes. Yes.
You understand she likes a little gossip, because it's like a good soap opera isn't going to sway her. Do you know what I'm saying?
I was so young when she passed that I didn't. Well, no, that's not true. She did talk some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She did.
She's the lady with the glass up against the wall. That's really what I keep getting, to listening to what's happening. And then there would also be a brother. Is that correct? You understand a brother, yes?
She had her brother who passed away. She took care of him.
Right. Right. Yes. You understand the brother, and then you also understand the dog, because she makes me feel like there's a dog as well. Yes.
Yes.
Dog is in spirit as well. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So we got her. We do understand her. Just letting you know. With the house, it feels like the house needs a little bit of work. But I also feel like she's the kind of lady that doesn't want anything to change. Don't change it. Don't touch it. Everything, like, she might have gotten it at the yard sale, but it is so valuable. You can very unique. One of a kind. So there's still a lot of her stuff still around the house. You understand this?
Yes.
And I just feel like it's weird too, because some of it you may try to move around, and then you can feel her getting a little like, put that back, that's not yours. So she's a little bit of that kind of lady, but she gives me this feeling too. She says you smell her. So I feel like there's been times in the bedroom, so maybe you have her bedroom or a connection to the bedroom, you understand that? She's saying you smell her in the room. And so that is her. And to sit there and stop spraying, because sometimes you'll spray. So she sits there and tells you to stop spraying, okay? One thing too, I don't know why, I feel like the carpet needs to be changed.
Yes, it does.
And so she's like, just get that carpet changed. It's shaggy, like, let's just get this taken care of. So anyhow, she says hello. She has loved spending time with all of you. She's been like listening in. So I just feel like letting you know on this day that, she is with you, loves you. Your house, she keeps it as safe as she can. Just know her love is in there with you.
Thank you.
And she's with her brother. So
Thank
I
you.
will leave that with you. All right, thank thank you. I saw some of you sign up for the email list. That's awesome. I try not to bombard you. I promise I won't. And I can be like, oh, this week, that week. It's usually once a month unless we have a lot in 1 week, okay? So, but we do have some classes coming up. Let me just share real quick with you. On December 1st, Jules will be here for an evening of mediumship. It's actually a fundraiser. All proceeds are going to a women's shelter. So there's a flyer in the window if you're interested. We also have our own Yusan Shin here. She is going to be teaching a 2-day workshop on Sharpen Your Intuition. So if you feel like you got some spidey senses, you have a thought and it happens, or you hear the phone, you think you know who it is, and then it is, you don't have to be like, oh my God. You can actually take a class and learn how to hone it. So you can talk to Yusan Shin afterwards. Monique has got a couple classes. They are sound healing classes. One, you know, I lost my note. Here we go. On 11:30, sound bath is in Pacific Palisades, Monique. She will also be doing I keep calling it sound bath. Is that okay? In North Hollywood on December 1st. We have Karen, who's also going to give a talk about learning how to use your intuition. This is on January 26th, and it will be in Thousand Oaks. So lots of love and prayers, and to show you that they will move forward. They will rebuild. We have Susan on the 11/19. She's gonna. This is a good one. How many of you have ever had a breakup? Raise your hands. You're listening to the songs over and over. And even though they make you more and more depressed, you're so addicted to it, right? So she's actually going to help you get through this breakup with grace. And that is 7 to 10 p.m., 11/19, and close by. So ask her and she'll give you some further details. Last but not least, December 15th, that's a Saturday night. I'm going to be doing an intimate circle of messages. So it's a really nice reduced price for anyone who can't, put that whole hour into their budget. Limiting it to like 8 or 10 people, but everyone who is there will get a message. So you can sign up for that. And I think that's it. Again, 11, 11, 11. This is your day. This is your time. Your time is now. And now what? Forever and ever and ever. Forever. This world, that world, forever. Someone's going to say, what were you doing on 11/11/11? Oh, well, actually, you know what I was doing? I was talking to Spirit and hanging out with a bunch of other people talking Spirit. Fabulous. So I want to thank you for spending your morning, for getting up, for coming here. Thank you for reserving the tickets, being very good students, because it's easier. But again, thank you for the donations, the gratitude. I want to thank our volunteers, our professional mediums, Yusan, Susan. I want to thank Monique for that beautiful sound healing. And I want to thank Karen for such an incredible talk that will really help so many people just know that their loved one is around. You know, I know you want to quiz them. I know you want to be like, if it's really you, you'll do this right now. I do this work and I do that. So I know it's normal, but at the same time, trust, surrender. And if you ever come across anyone who doubts that there is life after this physical world, you can say to them, fair enough. One of us will be right when we cross over, and I don't believe it's going to be you.